What's going on, people? Welcome to 137 Works, and today I would like to confirm that I have COVID. Yeah, it's probably a little bit blurry. A little bit of like that Reddit, so Reddit thing / leopards ate my face. I made that video just as like a thing, as like a joke, as I like put in the description, as I mentioned a few times. It was like a joke that I'd made up, and like I knew that at some point I was probably going to get it. It was highly unlikely that I was actually never going to get it, to the point where like a lot of my other friends who haven't gotten it so far also have now got it over the last kind of week or two. It just seems to be, end the mask mandate like 2 weeks ago. People are going around without masks, and it is still active. As I said, I wasn't taking it very super lightheartedly. I know that it is still ongoing. People are still getting sick, but yeah, so I eventually caught it. So how did I get it? This is the thing. I like, for people that watch these videos, like I don't really talk about myself or my life like a whole bunch, but like I'm not a big like party goer or nightclub person, or like spend all of them like every weekend in the pub or anything like that. I am kind of like, I keep myself to myself. I spend a lot of time in the gaff, like doing this, that, the other, playing games or everything, making music, whatever it may be. I'm not a big like go out-y kind of person, but between my birthday 2 or 3 weeks ago, I went out and met up with some friends for a meal about 2 weeks ago, and then I had to go out for like a meeting thing during the week, which is where I think I got it. I have actually had to leave the house a couple of times in the last few weeks, and that's pretty much where I think I got it. So I had to go to a meeting in like a government building, and I spent about 20 minutes across 2 different buildings, and I'd forgotten my mask. I had like, once I realized that, like, as I said, I started seeing like people, friends and stuff like that hadn't got it previously were starting to test positive. I was like, okay, this one, again, Omicron or whatever this current variant is very transmissible. Again, super like lean and super like not too big of a deal necessarily in theory for people my age or people that are in relatively good health. Like, it's not the biggest deal. So I was like, okay, whatever, if I can remember the mask, I'll bring it along, but if not, like it seems to be fine. This particular day I just forgot the mask and just didn't have the mask in these 2 buildings. They were the kind of buildings that the people that would have to go to them were not necessarily of the vaccinating kind or the mask wearing kind. Let's just say like a public building, like a government building or everything. And I spent about 20 minutes in queues in those buildings without masks. And coincidentally, later that night, again, like last Wednesday night, I think it was, I started to feel kind of shivery, and I was like, oh, that's kind of weird. Like I've had a cough for like 2 or 3 weeks now, but that was from my birthday night when I was like coughing or like when I was like shouting over music and talking to friends and stuff like that. Like I presume the cough was from that. Yeah, that was that. But the Tuesday night, or sorry, the Wednesday night rather, I was like, oh god, I'm all kind of shivery, and I was up all that night. Then the actual night itself, like whatever, about sitting at the desk and in a t-shirt with the window open, maybe because it's a bit warm or whatever. That night, like, you know when you go to the bathroom and like you feel all shivery and you run back to your bed and you get under the covers and it's like, ooh, I felt that. And I was like, ooh, this isn't good. Like, I don't know what this is. But I still thought it was just like generally related to my throat being scratchy. And again, you might have heard over these last few commentaries that my voice is a little bit like an 8 out of 10, 7 out of 10, 7, 8 out of 10. And so I was like, yeah, like I'll put it down to that. Like, it's not too big of a deal. But then sure enough, on Friday, then just passed, I took a test because like my dad had said, if you felt your first symptoms on Wednesday and you take it on Thursday, it's probably going to show as negative, so just wait until Friday to be safe, stay at home, stay isolating, and take a test on Friday. And so that's what I did, and I took a test, and sure enough, boom. The funniest part was, I must have had like a super strong version of it, because the T came up real red real fast. Like before the C, even like before like it actually creeped up even into the C, like the control for it actually to prove that it was actually a verifiable test, before that had even come up, the T thing had like gone full red. So I was like, okay, yeah, I've definitely got it. I've spent the last week, as I record this now, it's Tuesday night. Tomorrow is my last day of quarantine, kind of keeping to myself, or isolation or whatever they call it. So I'm going to take a test tomorrow, and hopefully that will be negative. For what it's worth, and again, I don't mean to downplay it by any means, by any stretch of the imagination, for what it's worth, I have been absolutely fine. Thankfully, as I said in the description for that video, I wasn't making light of COVID. I wasn't trying to take the piss out of it. I am double vaxxed. I amn't boosted purely because I just forgot. Like, I had 2 text messages to my phone being like, hey Brian, blah blah blah, you are scheduled in for tomorrow or from this date and whatever that, and I just completely forgot. Like, I'd seen that text and then went and did something else and completely forgot about it. Like, so I would be boosted as well if I just remembered to do it and gotten around to do it. I just forgot. Yeah, I am double vaxxed, and I put that down to like a big part of the reason why I am okay. Like, I literally, it's been a week now. The first night was the air quotes the worst, but at that, as I said, all it was I felt a little bit chilly. I felt a bit of that, like, you know, like you're probably a bit warm but you feel like you're cold sort of thing when you get a bit sick. I felt that. I've had this cough, but as I said, I've had this cough for like 2, maybe going on 3 weeks now, February 25th. Yeah, for about 20 days now or so. And yeah, thankfully, yeah, like I've not lost my smell or my taste or like that. I've been eating food, drinking drinks, everything's been all good. So I've actually gotten out of it pretty good. Yeah, I just thought I should make a video because it was like I went on bragging about my trophy and how I managed to avoid it within 2 weeks. I managed to catch it. Hopefully my experience is the experience that everybody else has going forward. It's not going to be, I understand that, like a lot of people are like more vulnerable, going to be sick or going to be older or whatever that, like, you know, unfortunately, like people still will be ill with it and stuff like that. Yeah, if my experience with it is what the vast majority of people will experience going forward, then my theory of why I chose the end of the mask mandate for the ending period and why I was eligible for that stupid trophy thing will turn out to be correct, in that it's going to be like, yeah, okay, you'll still get it and you might still feel sick for a week or so, but at this point, hopefully, fingers crossed, it just means that it has become, thanks to vaccines and thanks to like just kind of immunity and stuff like that, it just means that it's going to come down to like just, yeah, that's what it is. Like you get COVID now and it's like, oh, you got the flu or you got like a cold or something like that. Like it won't be the killer or the big thing that it's been for the last kind of 2 years or whatever that. Yeah, no other reason to make this video, just a real quick one because I felt like I owed it. I bragged about not getting it, so I should own up and admit that I got it. So just a stupid little video there to talk about that. So if you enjoyed it, please do leave a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new here. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.